Hey, everybody, welcome on into STL Sports Central presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and this is Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I'm Eric Sontag. There is Shawn Surwillo and Tito Ulrich. We are live with you guys every Wednesday night, usually right around 9 or 9:30 p.m. here on the STL Sports Central YouTube channel, talking legal sports betting here in Missouri. And we also cover our hometown teams from a gambling perspective here on the show. So drop your comments in the live chat and become part of the show. We would love to create a little gambling community here. Or if you want to talk nonsense, we are all about that too. So hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel if you haven't already. On the show tonight, we're going to give you our betting breakdown for the Blues and Bruins tomorrow night in Boston. Also, the Border War is back. Mizzou and KU square off on Sunday in Kansas City. We'll give our picks for that one, along with little look ahead to SLU and the Billikens in their upcoming schedule as they pick up a really nice win last night at Loyola Marymount. And of course, we'll go through the entire NFL Week 14 slate, and we will let you know where our action is for those games. Shawn, legal sports gambling is finally here. This has felt like a week-long holiday to me so far. So how you doing, brother? And how's this first week been treating you?
It's been great. All these promo bets, they're giving away the free money. That all these big books, it just lets you know that they don't care if the small man wins $500 or $600 in the first few days. Because all these bets for Missouri, one shot on goal, you can win $100. Make a yard here or there, you can win $100. But definitely take advantage of these promos while they last. I've reached out to a few people and they've talked about, oh, it's too much work to sign up and blah, blah, blah. I don't know about anyone else, but getting an extra $300 in my pocket is worth any amount of money, especially filling out a form. Super simple. And Mr. Sharp's already off to a great start. I know esontag is. We're going to take advantage of these books as long as we can because we know in the long run they're trying to crush us. But we're going to try to crush them. And always remember, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered, so don't go after them too big or they'll shut you down.
It's good advice there from Mr. Sharp. As for Tito, if anyone's coming in and maybe hasn't seen the show before, Tito definitely more the fan perspective here on the day. It's not much of a gambler. You like to dabble a little bit here or there. You do know your player props. Dr. Prop definitely knows his props and his fantasy sports. It's kind of been your bailiwick. So love me some Dr. Prop, but Tito's takes are hot. They are steamy. I often get a text with Tito giving me a hot take from his toilet. So Tito, how was your week going? Have you dove into the gambling a little bit, and how's it been going?
Things have been going well, and I have that. I've delved a little bit into it. I've got myself an Action Network password or username, so make sure to follow esontag and Mr. Sharp over there. And I got myself, I think it's like Tito's Bets or something like some nonsense like that. So be sure to follow us on Action Network. And myself, like Eric said, I'm not a big gambler, but these guys blowing up my phone, talking about all these free money, all this puck on net. You get $100 and you bet up to $50. So I'm just like, okay, might as well take advantage of that. And, when you have two guys that are my best friends that have gambled for decades, I've got my own little cheat code here following these guys. So you should follow along with us and get yourself a nice little bankroll. Tito's got a nice little bankroll so far. And we're going to talk about some of the upcoming bets and its upcoming plays that DraftKings and the other sports books are laying out. So take advantage of it. And I'm looking forward to learning more and more from you two jokers. I'll tell you that right now.
We got a couple guys already joining us in the chat, following along as well. B. Fishman says, bad beat of the day. He parlayed Jamal Murray. I guess that's 30 or more points. TJ McConnell, 10 or more points. And Pascal Siakam, over 23.5 points. Siakam ends with 23. He was betting 20 to get 750. Congratulations on your first official legal bad beat, B. Fishman. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that hook will always get you, baby. That's the key number. They got the hook there for a reason. And B. Fishman, you got to get a hold of your brother if you need some locks, Daddy, because I am the lock master.
And, of course, our guy, Tim Yash, is in the chat Gators. Talking about Gators. Every week. I love him. He's the Iron Man. Tim, yeah, we love you. Always thank you for joining the show. Yeah, I've been loving it this week. And one thing I have learned, like, I feel like for me, being good at doing math and managing money is just as important as actually being good at betting on sports, at least for this week. Because like there are literally tons of free money opportunities out there this week that I've been able to cash in on, including a great offer that I'll tell you about here in a couple of minutes from our partners at DraftKings. But guys, if you're just watching the show for the first time, I think you're going to like it because Tito is instant offense with the takes. And Shawn and I are both profitable gamblers, but we approach it differently. So we got something for everybody. So I know for you, Shawn, I think it's safe to say you're typically a higher unit size, lower volume type of better because you've been doing this for a long time and you've been able to raise that unit size. You're really doing this for secondary income and you've been successful at it. And that's why we call you Mr. Sharp. So you're very selective in the games you play. You do look at stats, data, but you're definitely more of a gut feel kind of guy as a better, really looking for spots. Is that a kind of a fair way to categorize you as a gambler? Or what would you?
Yeah, more so in most sports, but in NFL, it's definitely not a gut feeling. There's a lot of data that I do look at, a lot of numbers, a lot of offensive line versus defensive line, who's going to win the trenches. But yeah, I think less action is better because the house is going to win the more bets you place. So I do think less action is better in the long run, and but it's hard to be disciplined. Even Mr. Sharp's been excited. I'm on this show. I bet more games than I normally would. And so, you will lose more the more games you bet. It's just simple math. That's how it works. So, yeah, we got a little bit of everything. Eric likes a lot of action. I couldn't handle myself with 10, 12 bets a day. I like to win too much. I like to maybe bet 2 to 3 games. But like I said, this year's been rough for me because now it's legal and I'm firing these bets away myself. So I'm going to have to get back and, get a little more disciplined here in the next couple of weeks, or else I will lose. And I do not like to lose year in and year out. I like to profit.
Yeah, it's tough right now. This week it is like very much stimulus overload, which is how many opportunities that are out there. Yeah, B Fishman said already up with the free money, $620. That's what you got to do. This is the week to really build the bankroll, to really give you this head start because, coming here pretty soon, you're going to be back on a level playing field. So you want to be get off to as big of a head start as you can. Yeah, for me, I'm very data driven, not just in sports gambling, but just in life. And like Shawn mentioned, I love the action and the entertainment. I love to bet on a lot of games, but because of that, I'm betting a smaller unit size. And the comparison I use is some people want to be a scratch golfer just because that's a goal that they've set for themselves. They don't really get anything from it. My ultimate goal each year is to finish the year profitable in sports gambling. Like this is entertainment for me. My money for my livelihood comes from my actual job. Just to me, like for what sports gambling is, and Shawn's also just a better gambler than I am. He's been doing this longer. He's had more success. To me, the feeling of winning is more important than the actual dollars, and just the risk of potentially losing those dollars is hard for me to kind of, to handle a lot of times. I don't want that much sweat of real dollars on the line. So I really just want to win. That's what I'm really driven by, motivated by. So you're really going to get a few different perspectives here on the show. Another thing that makes our show different, I know I referenced this last week, but if there's anyone new in the chat, like almost every single gambling show out there, they sit there, they make picks, but there's no accountability. Like nothing is tracked. They just make their picks. They show up the next week. They make more picks. You have no idea what their record is. I mean, that's what Tito has done, but now you're on the Action Network app, Tito. I forgot about that. So now Tito's going to start tracking as well. But Shawn and I take this stuff very seriously. Every single bet that we make, it's tracked, transparent. Anyone can see it for free on the Action Network app. Highly recommend if you're watching, create a free account. You can track your own plays, so you know how you're doing, how much money you're up, how much money you're down, how much money you've won this week, building that bankroll, so you know how much you're having to work with. And if you follow the three of us, you'll get a notification instantly anytime we make a bet. So Shawn, his username's right there on the screen under his name. Mr. Sharp, $44.99. I saw you're up over $4,000 now, Shawn, for since starting to track your plays there back in June. So how's that feel?
It feels really good. My actual bankroll, my actual bankroll is about 7,000 this year. We've profited. That includes the Super Bowl last year. It's been great. But this has been a bankroll I've built over the last 10 years. So, don't follow me with the same unit size right now. If you're starting out, keep it small. But yeah, it feels really good. We're going to start gambling here. I got a couple $500 bets going in this weekend. We'll get into some NFL games that I absolutely love. And Dr. Prop, I got some plays for you that I think you can play Thursday night with a profit boost on DraftKings that you're going to really like, give you something to sit around and watch. I've been doing it with SJ. We throw $5 on a 3 or 4 team anytime touchdown bet. And I think Thursday night we're going to get some fireworks because we got 2 teams who our backs are against the wall, do or die. And you know what that means. They're going to bust out all the trick plays.
Ooh, I'll tell you right now, I followed Eric's best bet from last week on Monday Night Football, and I'm sweating bullets. It's a $5 play, folks. I had a free $5 I had from DraftKings for signing up. I'm sweating bullets over here. I'm yelling at the TV screen. I'm telling Vrabel, come on, get the ball into Henderson's hands. Let him score. Let him cook. And no, it didn't come to fruition. I was devastated, and I didn't have a good sleeping night on Monday night. But the fact of the matter is, you guys put me on that St. Louis Blues bet, and I got that free $50. So I appreciate that. But my goodness, Eric, the best bets. I was relying on you to have a square ass play like you do every week, and this one doesn't hit. So what a big woof to you, fella.
Hey, Mr. Sharp should be your guy for the NFL. Yeah, I saw you're up over 2,000 in the NFL alone, Shawn. So if you're watching, you're a big NFL person, just love betting football on the weekend. Shawn is your guy for Sunday. Yeah, my username on the X Network app, esontag. I've been tracking there since November of last year. I was very proud of myself. I've had a profitable year heading into this month. So 11 months into the year, I was ahead. Now I'm definitely going to end the year in the green. No problem. Thanks for taking advantage of these bonus offers like the one that we have from our great partners over at DraftKings. So this is going to be the 3rd time in 4 years I've had a profitable year in sports gambling, and that's the goal. Let's have some fun. Let's try and win more than we lose, and you can have all kinds of action and all kinds of fun on DraftKings. So Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live here in the Show Me State. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day, the tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting. No nonsense, just pure action, powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STL Sports. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code STL Sports. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. One single use odds boost per customer. Market boosted to plus 100 odds. Max bet $50. Expires at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, December 7th. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Yeah, another great thing you could take advantage of right now on DraftKings, they have what they call a Kansas City Chiefs no-brainer boost for their game on Sunday against the Texans. So you can just claim this offer on the promos page in the app. And the bet you can wager on is, will the Chiefs have at least 1 yard of offense in the game? So this is something that's obviously going to hit. You can bet $50 on it at even money odds. And when it hits, you win $50. It is the easiest $50 you will ever make in your life. You guys, one of you mentioned the Blues game a couple nights ago. The Blues just needed to get 1 shot on goal and you won $50 if you took advantage of the offer. So guys, get on the DraftKings app, play around with it, take advantage of the promotions, and you're going to love it. And Shawn, we love free money, don't we? Anytime there's free money
is hard to come by in gambling, baby. But we, thanks to DraftKings giving us out to the Missourians. But be careful. Don't blow your load right away when they're giving you this free $150 off these 3 easy bets.
That's right. Yeah, you want to get a little fat right now, but you don't want to get slaughtered. So just kind of build up, get that belly a little full. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk some Blues hockey. coming off a pretty good homestand where they win 2 out of 3. They'll be in Boston tomorrow night, start a 3-game road trip against the Bruins. I always get good memories when I see the Blues playing Boston. So your odds on DraftKings for the game, the Blues are a favorite here at -135. The Bruins are, it's going up. So the Blues are a -142 favorite. Bruins a +120 dog. Total is at 5.5, over and under, both at -110. So give us your thoughts on the Blues in the chat. Tito, let's start with you. What do you think on the Blues in this game tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm optimistic about the Blues. I think they've had a pretty good last few games. Have been pretty solid. I know last game was kind of a stinker, but I know people were talking about how disappointed they were in the performance, but I honestly think that I think they didn't take advantage of some of the scoring opportunities. I thought they had several scoring opportunities. They went 0 for 6 in the power play, which was kind of disconcerting. But I do like the Blues in this matchup against Boston. It's two kind of middling teams that haven't really found their stride. So I'm looking for a good bounce back. After giving up 4 goals against whoever they played a few nights ago. It doesn't really fucking matter. I don't care about that. I know they're playing the Bruins tomorrow night, Jack, and mine is going back to Boston to take care of business and reclaim what we did in 2019. So I like the under in this. I like the under in this matchup. I'm thinking the Blues come back with maybe a 3-2 or maybe a 3-1 win. That's what I'm thinking.
I think 3-2 is definitely in play. We've seen that scoreline a lot lately. Yeah, they lost to the Quack, the Ducks, on Monday night.
Yeah, what a big wolf with that Joe Quenneville and that 70s mustache, that porn mustache. My goodness. Hey, Quenneville, why don't you take a break a little bit? I know you're like the winningest coach since like Scotty Bowman, but my goodness, dude, give it a rest already.
Yeah, it was a tough one with the injuries, or your boys are just trying to, adjust to the new line combinations with Snuggerud and Torpchenko out. So it was a tough game. So hopefully they get back at it tomorrow. Shawn, what do you got on the Blues?
Yeah, look at Tito being Mr. Sharp here. We got 85% of the bets are on the over, Tito. So look at you being sharp already with the Blues. I kind of agree here, Tito. I like the under, but I also maybe would like to, when I'm looking at this as a gambler here, maybe I got a free bet. Maybe I got a boost bet. Maybe I take the Blues -1.5 goals at +170, and maybe I pump that baby up a little bit with a boost. I do think it's a little revenge game here for Monty. He's going to have the boys fired up. So when I'm looking at this thing as a gambler, I like the under. I maybe like the Blues at 1.5 goals. That way, if they do score, I'm kind of hedging myself with the 1.5 with the plus money odds.
What does the boost mean? What the hell are you talking about with the boost? I don't understand any of this nonsense. You guys are chatting me up. You guys are blowing up the text message chain, talking about all these free fucking money and these boosts. I didn't even know what the hell you guys were talking about. So help me in layman's terms, Mr. Sharp. What the hell is a damn boost?
I'm going to let Eric take this one because he is a little better at math than me. I'm pretty good at it, but he's a little better. And that goes back to the preseason with the Cardinals when you called me out about my math, but it ended up being spot on with the 76.5 wins.
So basically what it does would be to give yourself better odds on a team. So I don't know exactly what the math would be. I would have to pull it up. But like the Blues are favored at -142 tomorrow. If you give yourself a 50% profit boost, that would basically move the odds close to the range of like +105 on the Blues. So instead of getting -142, you're getting in the neighborhood of +105. Gives you a plus money opportunity, which is fantastic. I am going to be the wet blanket here on this. Actually, I would lean under on the total. I don't think Blues -1.5 is a good bet if you're expecting a tight game because the Blues are allergic to scoring in an empty net. They still don't know how to defend 5-on-6, where they're at least surviving more times than not when they're in this situation. There's been some games that got away from. I think the Seattle game a few weeks ago on a Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken, gave up a goal with 1 second left. Blues are kind of in survival mode. I think they're being taught to not shoot at the net and not ice the puck. I think they're more just trying to dump it out of the zone. So that makes me a little nervous with that. Big picture, I am encouraged because we have now seen the Blues pick up at least 1 point in 10 of their last 13 games. And I know a lot of those have been overtime losses, which are frustrating, but the points count. 2 overtime losses is worth 1 win. So if you look at the standings, they've taken a pretty big step in climbing out of this hole that they dug early in the season. They're not that far away from a playoff spot. So, and like we talked about, I think a couple weeks ago, the Western Conference is like not off to this crazy scorching start where you're really trying to chase teams in the 7 and 8 spot. So that's the good news. Bad news, I kind of mentioned, they're fighting through some injuries now, and they're going to have to adjust to it. They really struggled against the Ducks on Monday, at least finishing. They had some chances, but they just kept whiffing on the puck. But I bet the Ducks in that game because I thought the price was off. The Blues were a pretty substantial favorite. I don't think that was warranted. Like, the Ducks are first place team in the Pacific Division. And I see the same thing in this game tomorrow. The Bruins have a better record. They're at home where they're 9-5 on the season, and the Blues have been terrible as a favorite this season. I saw this on the Action Network app. I love their breakdowns where you can see these different records on the game preview page. The Blues have been a favorite 12 times this season. Their record is 2-10 in those games. So this is going to be in pocket for me. Bruins on the money line at plus 114 on DraftKings, and I might give myself a little profit boost on that to get a bigger plus money price. But this is something I really am excited about for this game if we get the opportunity. And it's kind of it's bad because it's bad for the Blues, but I think it'll be good for bettors. So you got a total of 5.5. There's a very good chance this game ends 3-2, like we talked about. Another reason to like Boston here on the money line, if this game goes to overtime, we've talked about this, guys. The Blues are terrible in OT. The Bruins would have an enormous edge. The Bruins are 6-0 in overtime games this season. The Blues are 0-7. So I'm going to bet Boston pregame. If this thing goes to OT, I think I've mentioned this to you before, Shawn. One of my favorite gambling sayings is don't be a moron, put more on.
Yes.
So I'm going to put more on the Bruins in a live bet during the commercial break before they start OT if this happens. I actually did this in the Blues game against the Devils last week and cashed a bet on that 3-2 final in overtime. Devils had a really good record in OT, so definitely keep your eye out for that. This almost approached best bet territory for me with the Bruins. Like I don't understand the price, and it's only moved more. Where I think the Blues were in the minus 130 range just an hour ago. Now it's minus 142. I don't know what's going on with that, but I have a lot of conviction about this play. I think the Bruins, it's just like the Ducks the other night. This is a price play. Blues might win the game, but this price is just off. Does that convince you guys at all that the Bruins might be the right side here?
I'm not a big hockey bettor myself. I like to dabble in the playoffs. One thing here, the Blues to make the playoffs, yes, plus 255. Might want to throw a little sprinkle on that. They are showing a little fight. And they are going to turn around that overtime losing streak, losing. It's not going to continue this way all year. You wouldn't think, right? Numbers are going to even out eventually. But it's still to the no to make the playoffs, minus 320. It's a pretty steep number. So I don't know. Vegas has got us kind of figured out right now with their numbers. But, yeah, Eric, I'm going to stay away as a gambler on this one. And I'm strictly going NFL this time of year, really, unless there's a play that I absolutely love. And I don't love this play. I like it.
Yeah, Tito, we talked about this. I'm not sure this OT stat's going to regress to the mean. I think they need to change their approach where this is going to keep happening. What do you think on that?
It's going to have – you're right. They're going to have to change their approach. They're going to have to start taking more chances and not be – I mean, they haven't won a game all season in overtime, so why not just take more chances and try to come up with a solution? And once the first one goes in and once you get the first W, maybe they'll start a spiral attack. But the numbers that you lay out, and when you talk about why Vegas has a number at a certain point, and seeing the Blues at a plus money on the road against a team that's kind of is similar to what the Blues are, you kind of convinced me otherwise in regards to kind of backing off the Blues W and kind of joining you with the Boston play. Especially, I like the live bet situation as well in regards to if it goes to overtime. Hammer the Bruins and maybe boost that up even a little bit more if you still have one of those boosts available for you. So I do think that I'm gonna roll with you on this bet and pick Boston with you here.
Yeah, I think the one thing I want to do before I lock this in is just make sure there's no major injuries for the Bruins. That's the only. I'm no Boston Bruins expert. I just want to make sure that maybe why is that line what it is? It just seemed very odd to me.
Well, and when you have the Blue when you have the Blues that are they've been they've gotten hit with injuries over the last several days too. So What the hell is Toropchenko doing anyway with the fucking scalding burns on his fucking legs? What are we doing? Are you deep frying a damn turkey a day after Thanksgiving, Toropchenko? I mean, we're trying to get back in the playoff hunt, and all you're worried about is trying to cook a damn turkey. What a big wolf. Get your ass back on the ice and stop cooking in the kitchen. Leave it to somebody else that doesn't have to play professional sports, dude.
I got to be careful in the kitchen. SJ says you are B. What does that mean? Let me know. You are B.
I don't know.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Sharp. That's
He's probably referring to my brother as B. He calls him
Well,
B, Uncle B.
B Fishman says I'm addicted to parlays and I hate Mizzou basketball. I love the thrill of parlays. Hey, if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it, especially with these new no sweat bets or these or the bonus bets more likely.
I mean, it is a big rush. It's like being at a craps table trying to win a couple $1,000s. You know, you're making some rolls. I understand the thrill of it, but just be careful. Over a 10-year period, you're probably not going to win.
They always promote you doing those parlays for a reason. They would not be promoting them all the time if they were not profitable for the sports book. Let's move on and talk Mizzou. We're going to find out this weekend where the football team is going in their bowl game. I'm sure we're all excited about that. The only way you can watch that game is to gamble on it. But we have a huge basketball game on Sunday in Kansas City with Mizzou going up against Kansas. And as always, our Mizzou coverage here on Domesticated Gamblers is brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. He's my insurance agent. He is Tito's insurance agent. And right now is the time to get in touch with James Carlton to get a quote for 2026. I know those renewal notices are starting to roll in for your insurance for next year with your car, your home, or your apartment. So here's what you should do. When you get that renewal notice from your agent, go to carltoninsurance.net. They have a form on that page that is super easy to fill out. It's just your name, phone number, and email address. You can just attach the renewal notice you got from your agent and just type in one sentence like, hey, I would like to get a quote on this exact same coverage to see if you can save me money in 2026. Hit send email, and you're done. This would take literally 2 minutes, and there is a very good chance you could save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for next year on your insurance. That's what I did for 2025, and I saved over $800 on my home and auto insurance this year. It's just me and my wife in this house that are drivers. You've got kids that are teenagers that are driving. You could save even more potentially. So, and James Carlton now has over 465-star reviews on Google. So not only is there a good chance you're going to save a bunch of money, but you can be assured that James and his team are going to take great care of you if you ever need to file a claim. So get that quote, carltoninsurance.net. And when you do it, mention Domesticated Gamblers or STL Sports Central, and they'll make a $20 donation to Mizzou's preferred NIL fund, which is the Will to Win Fund. If you'd rather have a conversation, just call during normal business hours at 314-961-4800, and you will speak to a person right away. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. All right, guys, let's preview Mizzou and KU on Sunday at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Both teams coming off losses last night. Mizzou falling at Notre Dame and Kansas losing at home to UConn. The line is currently set at KU -2.5 with a total of 150.5. So this is expected to be a tight game. This is not your typical dominant Kansas team that we've seen in years past. It's going to be in the top 10 all year long. That's not this team. It's a good team. It's not a great team. So let us know your thoughts in the chat. And if you like the Tigers' chances against the Jayhawks, Shawn, I'm going to go to you first. I know you were watching some of that last night. You were not impressed with Mizzou. Got a text from you saying this is a lot of the same old, same old. So what do you think here with the game against KU?
Yeah, we can't defend the three ball. I don't know what we're doing. Dennis Gates, we really struggled with this last year. This is a team that likes to stretch the floor a little bit and get some easy buckets. Mark Mitchell's a monster. But once again, it's the same old kind of Missouri team that we've had the last few years. We can score a little bit, but we cannot defend. I'm not super impressed with this team. I had been saying on the show, let's see who they can play against, or let's see when they play against a good team, how they look. Notre Dame's not a very good team, and we didn't look very good. So I think this is a middle-of-the-pack team by the end of the season, especially going in the SEC. This is a fade for me. Unfortunately, I would bet on Kansas if I was going to bet this. I don't think we're going to go down, into Kansas in a tough atmosphere. Kansas coming off a loss. I just don't see it. I don't know. I don't think this team is as good as last year even. And then you saw us get bounced against Drake. So I don't know, man. This team's same old like last year. That's how I see it.
And the only good thing, this game is on a neutral floor in Kansas City. I do think the crowd will probably be 50-50, but there's KU on a neutral site. Their fans just always show out. It's going to be incredible atmosphere. But Mizzou, like last year, we saw it. They get the upset at home. I just feel like they're not the same team when they're even on a neutral site, let alone on a road game here or in a road game normally. But in neutral site, I still don't feel
team, man. I think we could have blew that game open late in the first half. And we just don't have those killers on offense to put it away and then to play some sticky defense every once in a while. They give up these easy buckets and then the contesting the 3-point shot. My God, that was bad. That was on Gates after the timeout. I don't know what he's doing. So we lose that game on bad coaching and bad defense.
B. Fishman says they're terrible with the lead and can't play the slow-paced game. I think it's a good point. Yeah, they were ahead at halftime. Last night, I was busy on Billiken duty getting ready for the post-game show. I would have fired a bet on Notre Dame second half because just Mizzou fan, it's not going to be easy on the road. Tito, what you got?
I'm fucking fading the Tigers. I'm sick and tired of Dennis Gates. Everyone wants to talk about Dennis Gates and the recruiting class and how the number one class last year. He's got the number one class next year and all this nonsense. I remember when Eli Drinkwitz was around and he was having recruiting class after recruiting class that people were proud of and were excited for. And they were all being dismissive of Eli. They were all, he can't win the big game. And he still hasn't won the big game. But you see progress. With Gates, you don't see any fucking progress. You see regression. You have no defense. They still can't hit free throws. What the hell are we doing? You're shooting 69% with your free throws? I mean, what are we talking about here? You have a team that you get recruits after recruits. There's no team chemistry. You're sitting there like a damn jackass with a damn suit on, acting like you're some sort of player pimp or something like that, Mr. Gates. So I'm tired of the fucking Tigers. They got to show me something on Sunday in Kansas City before Tito gets on the bandwagon. I'm tired of it. I'm a Billiken fan through and through. I don't care if they lost on a last-second shot. At least the team had some heart. At least they came back yesterday and put it on whoever they played. Who was it, Loyola Marymount or something like that? So, I mean, there's a team that has some want-to. So get me the hell out of here. Fade the Tigers. Makes me want to puke going for the Jayhawks, but what a big woof.
That's what you're getting from Tito on the show. I love it. And I agree with you. I hate to do this. It's going to be unanimous. My brother went to KU. I have always hated the Kansas basketball team more than any other sports team on this planet. Probably ever since the Red Wings got out of the Blues division. Then it became Kansas basketball far and away. My most hated team. I don't see the argument for Missouri here. The Tigers have been tested one time away from home against a decent team. That might even be, being friendly to Notre Dame. They failed the test. Notre Dame is going to be average at best in the ACC. And while I like I've mentioned, I don't think this KU team is as good as they usually are, but they've still played a big-time schedule. They've lost to North Carolina, Duke, and UConn, but they've also beaten Syracuse, Tennessee, and Notre Dame. And like I said, I think last year at home, it was just the perfect storm. I think Mizzou played their A game for 30-something minutes until KU made that furious comeback. Kansas probably played a D game, until they made that big comeback. Tigers got it done, but just the neutral floor in Kansas City, I would want to be on a team that's more battle-tested and has shown they can beat quality teams. So I would want to be on the Jayhawks in this spot. I don't think it's going to be a blowout because I don't think Kansas is going to run away and hide from many quality teams this year. And Missouri's probably going to be a tournament team, or I don't know. They were an 8 in Joey Lenardi's latest bracketology. I believe they're in the low 30s in KenPom, 36. So this is still a pretty good team, but I don't trust them in the spot against Kansas at all. Bill Self, he's going to want this game after losing last year. So this is unanimous. Welcome Safari Elvis 36 to the chat with the Kermit the Frog avatar. I love it. Mizzou losing to Notre Dame basketball is almost the same as when they lost to Princeton in the tournament. Dennis Gates is a goddamn worm. He is lazy.
Spot on, Safari Elvis. Couldn't agree more. I haven't heard the word worm in a while, but I love it. Calling someone a worm, that is phenomenal. Little tweet or post or whatever we're calling that dang thing. Great job. I do agree, though, and I don't understand how you can put Missouri in the bracket right now. Who have they played, right? All these cupcake teams. So I guess the AD at Mizzou is just scheduling cupcake games for football, for basketball to start the season, and you're not battle tested. Any coach knows that you got to be battle tested a little bit before you get into your tough part of your schedule. You know, we play these cupcakes and, you know, sure, we can shoot up the rock. We can run. We have better athletes than these, you know, smaller schools. It has to be better than this. This is a shame. And I'm not looking forward to it either, Tito. I'm with you.
Yeah, we talk about the Ken Bowl. I talk about the Ken Palm rankings, and that's kind of based off more of, at least at the beginning of the season, it's based on potential. But this week, the net rankings came out on Monday, and the net rankings are what the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee helps use to evaluate teams. So Missouri's 36 in Ken Palm. The net comes out. Mizzou's sitting at 65.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, and you nailed it, the schedule. They have the second worst schedule in the country so far. So the net rankings do not like Missouri because they haven't been tested against anybody.
I mean,
as I scroll
it doesn't
through,
matter in the NCAAF, though. College football, if you're Notre Dame, your schedule doesn't matter. You know, if you're
well, we'll see. We'll
at.
see more about that later on, probably on Sunday. We'll see about Notre Dame, but this is the nature of the beast with, you know, with basketball and college basketball is that, you know, when you have quad 1 and quad 2 and quad 3, these different quads, who gives a fuck about a damn quad? But the big schools care about that. And so Mizzou's just trying to, you know, get some wins when they have a tough schedule in the SEC. So they're going to have opportunities to beat, you know, better and better teams. They're playing Kansas, they're playing Illinois, they played Notre Dame. So those are coming. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care who you are. If you can't hit your free throws and if you can't stop, if you can't defend and you want to sit there and just roll the ball out and have them play some half-ass style basketball and run no offense, just pass the ball around and chuck up a three or drive the lane and get fouled, but you can't hit your damn free throws, then it's not the style of basketball that I like. It's not going to be cohesive to endearing Mizzou basketball fans to this type of environment. So I'm with you, Elvis, and top of the morning to you as well, sir.
I mean, even a pick and roll, my God, something.
Yeah. Just watching Mizzou play offense and then watching the Billikens play offense, it is night and day. It's just so aesthetically pleasing watching the Billikens. And speaking of the net rankings, SLU with a very impressive win last night against Loyola Marymount. They scored 91 points. They covered the spread easily. They shoot up. I believe they were 46 in the net yesterday. I just pulled it up. They're up to 35 now. So the good news is the A10, the metrics like the A10 this year, where it's been a one-bid league the last few years. This year, so SLU's the top-rated team in the net at 35. George Mason's at 44. GW's at 50. VCU's at 53. And Rhode Island's at 74. So you have 5 teams in the top 75. And you got another 3 in the top 100 in Dayton, Davidson, and the Bonnies. There are going to be a lot of opportunities for Q1 and Q2 victories in this league this season. And that is going to be really good for SLU's chances to make the NCAA tournament. Keep an eye out for this on, I don't see it yet, but odds for SLU to make the tournament. I really like their chances. I was gutted by the Stanford game. I was just like, are they really going to miss the tournament because this Betty effing Geeler, who hadn't scored all game, hits this miracle rainbow 3 from the corner on what was the right play and fouling when you're up 3 late. It was just the perfect storm of events. But then when the net rankings came out and I saw all these teams in the top 75 and top 100 of the net, okay, like that one loss is not going to disqualify SLU from making the tournament. So if they win the games they're supposed to win in their conference and hold their own against the big boys in the conference, which I think I have a good feeling about this team this year. I think they could do some damage. I pulled up the odds on DraftKings. SLU is the favorite to win the A10 now at plus 280.
Wow.
I think I still might fire a bet on that. I want to wait because I want to see I haven't watched VCU play yet. I want to see what VCU looks like because they always bully the Billikens around. The Billikens just get punked every time they go in that building. Next 6 games for SLU are all at home. They should win all of them relatively comfortably. I think that the closest projected score in KenPom was a 10-point game against San Francisco. So they should win their next 6 games. The next true road game at VCU. And then we're really going to see on this team. We know I could tell they have the skill because, like I said, this is beautiful basketball watching this team. I want to see, do they have the toughness when they go up against a team like that has punked them the last forever in that building. SLU's never won in that building. I can't wait for that game. I already marked my calendar for it. Tito, you got any other thoughts on the Billikens?
On the Billikens? Joe, sure. I got a ton of thoughts on the Billikens. I didn't know we were transitioning into them playing who are they playing? Central Michigan? Central
Michigan, they actually lost to Loyola yesterday. Loyola had been, I think, 355 in the net rankings, one of the worst teams in the country. They hadn't covered a spread all year until they won and covered against Central Michigan yesterday.
Oh my goodness. So SLU is going to take care of business on Sunday. I don't know this KenPom fella you keep on referring to. It's a big wolf to me, but I'll tell you right now, I do. It's like you said, the style of basketball SLU plays is endearing. They finish on the rim. I mean, I've never seen more. I don't have any doubts that when they get to the rim, they're going to finish. And if they don't finish and they get fouled, they hit their damn free throws. Guess what? When you practice free throw shooting, you take advantage of it when you get fouled. So I like the fact that they have nine or so players that can easily rotate. There's not one guy that is they're dependent on. I mean, Robbie Avila is probably the well-known player, but you sprinkle it around to a few different players, and seeing other players step up over the last several games and hitting game-winning shots is definitely, it's good. It's good sign. So I definitely like SLU on Sunday, and I think I'm optimistic with you. And don't worry about this VCU bunch. I mean, this is a brand new squad. Josh Schertz has only been around for a year or so. So that negative mojo going down to VCU or getting punked by them, I think that's going to be that's too a little pish posh. But the fact that you're bringing up those numbers related to what's the numbers you're talking about? What are the rankings, or they're not KenPom, but where are they? The
net rankings. That's what the committee uses. Yeah.
That's why Eric is awesome, folks. That's why you should be watching him on the post-game show with SLU. That's why you should be watching this show, because nobody else in St. Louis was bringing that up, the net, with SLU. Everyone was talking about them losing to Stanford and how, that might cost them to make the tournament. But the fact of the matter is that the A10 is being thought of in a higher capacity related to the conference-wise. I think that speaks volumes about the analysis that Eric brings. And so tip your cap to Eric, and let's go SLU. Let's see them make a run, and we'll go from there, baby.
Yeah, the game Sunday, I wouldn't touch it just because the spread's going to be around 25, like against Central Michigan. And this is like total letdown spot. They had 3 big games, California. I could see them just kind of coasting. So I wouldn't touch it, but just big picture, very excited about this team. I think they can win the A10. I think that price is pretty good. Yeah, Shawn, what were you thinking on SLU?
Yeah, I know at the beginning of the season, you talked a lot about SLU scoring a lot of points this season, and the team total points over. You like that a lot, and I'm sure it's been cashing. I haven't been following along, but you've been spot on with this team. This is your team. You know them like the back of your hand. But also, we talk about it. Team basketball. They play team basketball. That's fun to watch. Anybody who coaches youth basketball knows you're always telling your boys, pass the ball around, little motion offense, getting something going. Selfish basketball, right? We don't see that in the SEC with Missouri. We see that with Schertz, though. He's a heck of a coach. I love the way he coaches. And I'm excited for SLU this season. I think they got a shot to get in the tournament. And I wouldn't touch it either unless the team total points was a good-looking play. But I wouldn't touch a 25-point spread in basketball. No way.
Yeah, I agree. The team total is going to come out right around 90 because KenPom's got him projected to score 89. Yeah, that was my pick for STLSportsCentral.com for the game last night. Bills go over their team total of 77.5, I think it was.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this guy.
They scored 91. So, yeah, guys, if you're watching, I write it says right there at the top of the screen. I get Sontag's picks daily at STLSportsCentral.com. I write a gambling preview article for every game the local teams play. Cardinals, Blues, City, Battlehawks even, Mizzou, SLU, And the Chiefs, I guess, are local. We're doing it. It's the NFL. Everybody loves the NFL. Let's get to the NFL here in just a second. Just a couple comments here from Timmy I want to get to first. He said the Gators are going to win it all. Gators won it all last year, which was impressive. They're 5-3 this year, 25 in the net. I don't think they're going back to back. They're a good club, but yeah, he's just obsessed with Gators. But he also says a good question here. I want to talk about this. New to gambling, how much would you bet per game? So this answer is going to be different for everybody. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. But this week, just do whatever you can to take advantage of the bonus offers being given to you. DraftKings, with that offer we talked about, use the code STL Sports. You get $300 in bonus bets. It comes out as 12 $25 bets. There's a few different ways you can do that. I know everyone's got different thoughts on that, but if you're new to gambling, I would just try and find the 12 best plays of the week that you like around the -110 range. That's my opinion. I know other people might have different thoughts on that. Once this week is over and you get into kind of just, normal unit size, what should my normal unit size be? How much would you bet per game? I've talked about this a lot. And it's the best way I can describe it. You want to find an amount that when you win, you go, yes, and you feel good about it. But if you lose, you want to be able to go, that sucks, and then just move about your day. If it's impacting you emotionally, or obviously if it's impacting you financially, you are betting too much. But if you also, at the same token, if you're like, if $5 doesn't get your dander up, or you're like, I didn't really get anything from that, then maybe get it up to 10. But it's another reason why I say track your plays, because then you know how much money that you're up or down. And Shawn, and maybe you could take it next. You've talked about this. You start small, and then if you can win and build that bankroll, and you just bet more as you go along, right? So just kind of give me your take on this topic from a good question from Tim.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, here's what I would do. I would take that $100 in free money they gave you on the Blues bet and then the Chiefs bet. And you got $100 in your bankroll, right? So now you got $100, and then my unit size from there would be $5 and $10. $5 for games I kind of like, and $10 for games I love. And that would be my bankroll until I could get it to $250. That would be my next goal, to get my bankroll to $250. Then maybe I increase my units. But that's where I would live to start out. I'd use the house's money. I have no investment. I'm using their money, and that's my bankroll. And for me, it would be a long-term play of 5 years. Where can I get my bankroll? That's how I would handle it. I would take advantage of that free money and then not invest any of my money at all into it. And then that's where I would live, $5 and $10.
I love that. And I agree with it too. Tito, what's your take on this?
Yeah, $5 and $10 is where I go. I don't go anything higher than that, because if I lose $5, I'm pissed off. I'm sweating bullets. I'm yelling at the damn TV anyway. So yeah, Timmy, if you're betting on the Gators big time, bet $5. Like Shawn says, take advantage of this free money right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be taking advantage of this free money, and once that money dries up, guess what? Tito ain't going to be depositing hundreds of dollars. Even if I win, great. It's going to be more money that I could put on bets and enjoy myself. Talk with these jokers about my bets and track them with those guys. But don't go out of your means. Don't try to impress anybody by, oh yeah, I put $300 on this bet and watch me go. None of that nonsense. You should only be looking out for Timmy. Yeah, should not be looking out for trying to impress the ladies, Daddy. So
one mistake gamblers make, and it's very common. You have a big week. Let's say you win $1,000 on a big parlay. You pull the money out. You go spend the $1,000. Now your bankroll's all gone. You don't want to do that. A lot of gamblers do that. I got $1,000 and they go blow it. Now they have to put the money back into the account, and then that's the vicious cycle. If you got a bankroll, leave it in there. Don't get rid of your bankroll.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just kind of your money to use, like especially for this week here in Missouri, where we're at. Wherever you're at the end of this week, if you're new to gambling and you want to be small stakes and start small, as you should if you're brand new, because you're going to make mistakes, have what you make this week. Let that be your bankroll and go with that. So I think that's the best way to approach it. He also says thank you. He's very polite.
This guy.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you're very welcome, Tim. We're happy to talk about this stuff because this is an exciting week. And look, this is the way they get you. I know I'm in a better mood this week than I've been for the last couple months. 2 months ago, I had a terrible month. Last month was subpar. I was not profitable in November, but obviously this week has been incredible. And so, but you got to manage those emotions. But this is the time. Strike while the iron's hot. And we're gonna have more opportunities here as we get into the NFL with this great game to start off tomorrow. So again, if you're new to the show, we're gonna give our opinions on every game here in Week 14. But a reminder, you can get all of our bets for the NFL and all sports in the free Action Network app. Track your own picks, follow other people as well. Highly recommend it, especially now we got this action flying all over the place. So I talked about at the top of the show. Shawn and I have both been profitable. It's tracked, transparent, it's a fact. And if you follow us in the Action Network app, you'll get a notification every time we make a bet. Now Tito's on there too, so you'll get a notification when Tito logs a bet on there. Shawn's username, Mr. Sharp 4499. I'm on there as esontag. And Tito, I just pulled you up. Tito Bets. Tito Bets is what you're at there on the Action Network. All right, and he said NFL, yeah. So not just Gators, yeah. NFL, yeah. For Tim, yeah. If you watch, I'd love to get your thoughts on these NFL games in the live chat as we go through them. Let me know where your action is. We will discuss. Let's start tomorrow. Thursday Night Football, great game. Cowboys at the Lions. Lions a 3-point favorite. Total's 54.5. Like they're expecting fireworks at Ford Field tomorrow. Mr. Sharp, this is your sport, baby. Got to let you kick it off. Where are you going?
I think for B. Fishman, I think for Tito, I think for a lot of these guys that I know that love these long shot parlays, this is your game, right? We're not going to find many over-unders at 54.5. And then we're also not going to find two teams with their backs against the wall, right? Do or die situations. So all the tricks are going to be coming out, all the trick plays, the flea flickers. So I love, these same game parlays in this game especially. I think you can do a lot of anytime touchdown scores, and we're going to cash. We got a 54.5 over under. This is the game we want to attack this at, right? We don't want to go to a 33 or 34.5 under in the Cleveland and Titans game. We don't want to attack that for anytime touchdowns. This is the game we want to attack, right? The Lions already have trick plays. And also, Dan Campbell likes to hit his backup tight ends. Laporta's out. I think we saw Dan Arnold scored last week. Or Tesla scored. He likes to get guys involved, and these guys have big odds. When they score, it's going to win you some cash, 5-6 to 1 odds. So some of them even larger than that. But Mr. Sharp loves the Cowboys here. This team has changed around with the trade of Quentin Williams. They got healthy in the secondary, and also with the tragedy of the death of the player they had, they're rallying around this, and they're playing really good football, team football. They're bonding. I love the Cowboys here getting 3, and I also like the first half under. I know it's at a high number, but the Cowboys have only not covered first half under or over once this season. So I like the first half over. I like the total over, and I love a lot of prop plays. I don't have them all yet. I'm going to get into that a little bit more tomorrow. Follow me on the Action Network. We're going to have some parlays posted for that. But this is a game we're going to attack. Mr. Sharp does have 5 units on the Cowboys plus 3. I think this team is rolling, and I think you got a Lions team with bad defense, and they're just kind of falling apart, especially St. Brown. I don't think he's going to suit up. And if you look at Jameson Williams' props on his yardage, it's about 80. So I think Vegas is thinking that St. Brown will not play either. So give me the Cowboys plus 3. This is one of my favorite bets of the weekend.
I love those thoughts. I do think this is a game for where we're at in Missouri. This is a time to get creative with those plays to really try and cash in a high-scoring game. I want to make sure I heard you correctly. My brain was kind of distracted. Did you say you like the first half under or the first half over?
Over.
Okay, so first half over and full game over.
Yep. Okay. I do. I like it a lot. The Cowboys' first half overs have hit in every game except one for the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah, B. Fishman says he's getting creative. First half touchdown Gibbs, second half touchdown CD, plus 616.
I love that. Plus 16. I mean, that's great. They also have I think there's a bet on DraftKings. Will there be a field goal in every quarter? I could see that in this game, and I think that's plus 900. So get very creative in this game. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Oh, man. Tito, you get excited about this. What do you think?
No, I'm sweating bullets over here. My goodness, all these damn bets that B. Fishman and Mr. Sharp are throwing at me. I'm trying to write all these things down to try to get some money in my account, but my goodness, no. I'll try to replay this section of the show back over and over again so I get those bets in tomorrow. But if Mr. Sharp is as adamant as he is with the Cowboys and the +3, he knows NFL better than anyone here in St. Louis. So I'm gonna not tail, or I'm not gonna what is it called? I'm gonna tail Mr. Sharp, and I'm not gonna go against him. So I'll sing his praises, and he's right with the tragedy of what happened with the teammate in Dallas, and seeing Dak sling the rock around, even with that fraud of a coach. Who is it? It's Brian Schottenheimer. What a big fraud that guy is.
Hey, listen, hold on. Brian Schottenheimer might win Coach of the Year if these boys get into the playoffs.
It'd be in the running. This is Vrabel's award to win. I'd have to pull up what the odds are on him. He's got to be a massive favorite now at this point, I would think. I was leaning Cowboys already, and now that I know you're on it, I'm definitely going to be joining you. Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year, -270 he's listed as the favorite right now on DraftKings. But if you want to value play, Brian Schottenheimer is +3,500. So that could be worth the dart there, because the Cowboys are feeling it right now. And one reason I was already leaning Cowboys, this Lions pass defense is just getting shredded these last couple weeks. Jameis Winston threw for 366 yards against them. There were 3 passing touchdowns in that game for the Giants. One of them was to Jameis Winston, which is just an electric play. And then your boy Jordan Love lit him up last week for 4 touchdowns, Shawn, on Thanksgiving. So the 2 players, and I agree, this is definitely the game to get creative. The 2 players I really had picked out are Lamb and Pickens to score, both at plus money. I think at least Pickens should be minus money. And if you bet both of those guys, you just need one to hit to ensure in profit. I think there's a good chance you hit both. Last 3 games since the Cowboys came off their bye, I think they decided they're going to let Dak just sling it, because CeeDee Lamb is eating 27 targets over the last 3 games, 16 catches for 253 yards and 2 scores. Pickens, even better. Last 3 games, 33 targets, 24 catches, 378 yards, 2 touchdowns. I see no reason why this stops tomorrow. So Lamb's odds are +125 to score. Pickens +115. I think either, both. I think they're both going to cash. But if you bet both, you're almost certainly going to profit. But like Shawn said, this is a game not to be cautious and go small like you might want to with the Browns and the freaking Titans with a 33.5 total. This is the game, and have some fun. Like, this is supposed to be fun. These are 2 of the most fun teams in the NFL. So, Mr. Sharp, I think you're barking up the right trade here.
Yeah, I would use my $25 bonus bet, and I would, if you got a couple of them, I would definitely play some same game parlays in this game. We're going to see some fireworks. The Cowboys have the best offense in football going right now. Detroit can score. And like I said, both teams are in do or die situations. So you see teams at this point in the season, fake punts, flea flickers. They're going to have some trick plays because it's do or die for both teams. So let's cash some money on this game for sure. I'm ready to go on a big parlay game myself. I'll have a play posted tomorrow afternoon.
Love it. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you on that, because you hit a big one the other day too with was it Monday Night Football, or am I getting my games?
Monday Night Football.
My brain's been so jumbled this week. It's insane.
Bet 360 DraftKings.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question here. I see I'm on the DraftKings app right now. I see 100% boost Dallas versus Detroit for a single or same game parlay on Thursday Night Football. Could I use that for my CeeDee Lamb, Jahmyr Gibbs play that B. Fishman was talking about a moment ago? Is that possible?
I am like,
you have to look at the rules. Sometimes on a certain amount of plus money, they won't offer it. It has to be within a window.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my app right now. Basically, too, there should be a button you should be able to select or not select that says, would you like to apply the profit boost or not? If it doesn't let you
total bet odds of -200 or longer apply. So this is a plus money bet, so you can't do it on a plus money bet, I would assume, right? That's what it means.
Yeah.
So just play around with it.
There.
As long as you don't hit submit bet, you're not gonna break anything. So just
you might, Tito, this might be a spot where you look at Dak Prescott's attempts, right? And you can play with the alternate line, and his attempts might be 24.5 or 27.5. You might move it down to -200. Boost it up to get it closer to -100.
I got you. That's a smart play. That's how you would take advantage of something like that. Where I'm
I
pretty
did that
sure
on Monday
thing
night.
that's
I
gonna
moved
hit.
Drake Mays way down on his
Yeah.
yardage. I think he hit it in the first half, and I boosted it up good enough odds, right?
Right. Okay.
I could feel the dopamine just rushing through my body. Just
You
talking
guys are
about this stuff.
gentlemen. Look at you guys teaching Tito some things, and my goodness, you're teaching St. Louis a bunch of things. So follow along, people in St. Louis. Get on board. Hey, if you're an advertiser, reach out to us. We'd love to have you advertise on the show as well.
Gambling's where it's at right now. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, we're an hour into the show. We've covered one NFL game so far. So I'm going to get this rolling here pretty soon. But the Godson is joining the chat. Ty Bird saying, sorry I'm late here. Had some volleyball to take care of. The week is finally here. He loves Sonic and Knuckles tomorrow. Gibbs and Monty.
I don't love that.
Okay.
Quentin Williams up the middle with Kenny Clark. No one's running on the Cowboys right now. I don't see that. The Packers shut down Sonic and Knuckles last week. This offensive line is banged up. It's not the same Sonic and Knuckles. So I don't love that one, Ty Bird. I usually am spot on with you, but Quentin Williams up the middle is just a monster in the running game. And I think they're going to have to pass the ball. I might like Sonic and Knuckles on their receptions in this game to get the passing game going without St. Brown.
So you see this game being played through the air on both sides, I presume.
Yeah, we call this in the NFL. I'll let you guys in a little handicap that I go by. You pass to score, you run to win in the NFL.
Mr. Sharp bringing heat. Coach Sharp says Godson says Dan Campbell will run on the Cowboys. Haven't we seen the way to beat the Cowboys is just keep throwing on the secondary?
You ain't going to run on Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark up the middle.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for this game. We should get into the Sunday games now that we're an hour and 2 minutes into the show. But like I said, we're super excited about this week. Let's start. We're just going to go down the list on DraftKings if you're following along. Let's start with the Saints at the Bucks. Boy, the Saints or the Bucks are up to an 8.5 point favorite now with a 42.5 total. I'll go first on this one. I lean under, and the under is cashed in 8 straight games for the Saints because they just cannot score. So Tyler Shuck took over. It was 4.5 games ago. The Saints are averaging just 11 points per game during those 5 games where he has played. The first game in that stretch where he took over was against the Bucks. Final score 23-3. 26 points. It goes way under. I know, one game is not necessarily indicative of what's going to happen in the next game, but I think this is kind of where the Bucks are at as a team right now. Starting to get a little bit healthier. I know Mr. Sharp said this could be a good team to bet on late in the season. We're kind of getting that point. I think Mike Evans is on his way back. So, but I do think the Bucks still just kind of grind out another win here. They're not very explosive right now, but they might be here soon when they get Evans back. So definitely a lean on the under at 42.5. Tito, I'll get your insight on this game with the Saints and the Bucks.
Oh, the Saints, baby. Keep on losing for Tito, daddy. And my goodness, I love the under. I like where your head's at. Easy. The Saints don't know how to score any fucking points. And even if the Buccos are getting a little bit healthy, the under has hit the last 2 games. So definitely give me the under in this matchup. I love where your head's at here.
Tim Yeah says, give me the Bucks. Mr. Sharp, do you agree with Tim Yeah?
If I'm going to bet the line here, I'm going to take the Saints with 8.5. I think it's a large number in a division game. I think the Bucks can show up here and win this game. But they also are going to get Bucky Irving back, correct? So I think you're going to get Mike Evans and Bucky back this week. So the Bucks are getting healthy. I'd stay away from the number, and I do tend to agree, Eric. I like the under if I'm going to play this one. This is a lean, though. No game, no bet in this one for me. Maybe you want to tease down Tampa Bay with another teaser game that you like. I would attack it maybe that way, but I don't love the number. The only way I would bet it is take the 8.5.
Yeah, and Bucky actually came back last week against the Cardinals. 17 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Also 2 catches for 20 yards. So they got Bucky back.
I don't see the Bucks losing straight up. I just don't love that number.
And the Godson's right in lockstep with you. Says the Bucks not losing this good parlay team. Yeah, whether it's a parlay or teaser, just find what gives yourselves the best odds and roll with that. Next game, the game of the week, Titans at Browns.
Oh.
God. The Browns are a 4.5 point favorite. I don't remember seeing a lower total in an NFL game. 33.5. Maybe one of those games where it's in Buffalo and there's like 90-mile-an-hour winds and snow and gusts. This is about as low as I can remember.
I think we had 34 last week in the Cleveland San Fran game.
All right, it's a shit game. That means I got to start with Tito to lead off this one with Tennessee at the Browns.
Of course you do. But guess what, Daddy? I need the Tennessee Titans to win like 2 more games the rest of the season. I think this is one where they're going to pull it out. Everyone's singing Shedeur Sanders and how optimistic they are with that passing game a little bit. He's kind of showing a little bit of flashes. But let me tell you something. Nobody circles the wagons like the Tennessee Titans do. And I think they're going to shock the world. I think this is going to be an under game. I think the under is still going to hit. I'm looking at some stats from Tennessee. The under hit when it was 42, under hit when it was 41.5, the under hit when it was the total points was 37.
Wow.
I mean, this under keeps on, the over was 41.5. So I do apologize. I misspoke there. But when an under hits at 37, my goodness, what a big woof. So Tennessee, come on, don't let Tito down. I know you can pull it out. I need you to win this matchup against the Cleveland Browns. And so I'm staying the hell away from this game, though, Eric. I'll tell you that right now.
I kind of like the over in this game. The only reason is, like, let's say you're going into work the day before Thanksgiving. You got a day off coming. Both these teams are packing it in. I don't see the defenses really getting fired up to play this game. They're out of contention. So this game might get a little loose. I would maybe sprinkle a little quarter unit on the over here. It's a pretty low number, and I don't think the defenses are really going to play to their potential. There's not going to be hard-hitting in this game. Both teams know it's over. They're ready to get on the beach. They're ready to start golfing in Maui or wherever they go in the offseason. So give me the over in this. Besides that, we need Tennessee to win so that Saints bet hits for us.
I disagree with that take, at least on the Browns' perspective. This is stat padding time, baby. Like, this is Myles Garrett. He might break the sack record in this game to get over it. Like, this Browns defense is nasty. And this is a home game where I don't think the weather's going to be terrible, but it's going to be
hard to get up, though, when you know you're eliminated week after week after week.
Haven't they known they've been eliminated all season, though, and their defense just keeps, like, sacking quarterbacks left and right? And I also think it's going to be stat padding time.
They've been eliminated all season. What a line.
Except for when they played the Packers, apparently. I still can't believe that happened. Speaking of stat padding time, Quinshon Judkins over 81.5 rushing yards at -111 on DraftKings is a play I have picked out. You got a total like this, that means the running back is going to eat. And last week, a low total game, as you referenced, against the Niners, they lost that game by 18. So you would think they'd have to be throwing the ball to get back in it. Judkins still had 23 carries for 91 yards. So they're going to feed him the rock. Tennessee doesn't have a good run defense. And if the Browns do win this game like they're favored to do, there's a good chance they just keep pounding the rock with Judkins. He's went over this yardage number in 2 of the 3 Browns wins this season. So I feel like this, I know it's kind of a high number. It's above his season average, but I just see the game script this here. They just pound the rock with him, and the Titans' run defense has been atrocious. So Judkins over 81.5 rushing yards. That's the play I have picked out.
And to everybody watching, one golden rule that Mr. Sharp has in the NFL, I'm never really going to put my money on quarterbacks I don't believe in. I don't believe in Cam Ward. I don't believe in Sanders. So never going to throw a 4 or 5 unit play on quarterbacks like this. Never. I want a winning quarterback who knows how to score.
The Godson says a lot of Judkins action coming, I think. At first I was thinking his touchdown odds, but I think it was like -170. So that's not playable, at least for esontag. That's not the way I like to bet on a straight play for a touchdown.
Unless it's the best bet.
Yeah, one of those square EPL plays, right? You know what's funny? I used a $100 bonus bet today on an EPL play. It was Arsenal and under 4.5 goals. And I'm thinking, it would probably be like, around -120. It was -185. And I'm like, I thought about you, Tito. I liked it so much. I'm like, it's $100. I got to take it. It cashed. They won 2-0. But
I almost followed you on that one.
What? See, that's where you should text Tito and say, listen, I know you don't like my square ass EPL plays, but here's one with free money. That's when I would have loved it. This is the week to do that. This is the week to bother me with that nonsense. My goodness.
I'm on
Turn
the
your
action.
notifications on.
Every single bet is on the Action Network app that I play, and that was on there.
I got 6 fucking kids. I got a job. I had a bunch of running around to do. At least you can do it. I'm one of your best friends, for crying out loud. You're going to make me rely on a damn app I've turned all the fucking notifications on. I get enough notifications. I get enough fucking emails to last me a millennial, okay? Or millennium. So don't give me this nonsense. Shoot your best friend a text and let him know, hey, there's a great bet for you. My goodness. Thanks for nothing.
Here's all you got to do, baby. You can configure it in the Action Network app. You can just turn on notifications for me and Shawn. Anytime we place a bet, you get a little ding. And then you can get the same number that we bet just then too. Like it's like it's a reflex for me. I enter the bet in the app, immediately put in the Action Network app. Like I'm like a Pavlovian dog at this point. All right, next game, Colts and Jags. Good game here. Colts a 1.5 point favorite. Totals 47.5. So Mr. Sharp, kick us off on this one.
This tough game here, tough division game, but Jacoby Myers is really helping Trevor Lawrence out in the passing game. He's really, his safety blanket now, and he's allowing Brian Thomas to run a little better routes and get open, get away from that double coverage. And Liam Cohen, leader of men, Duval. This is a tough game for me. I'm going to stay away and just watch this one. See who the better team is here. I don't really like anything in this game at all. I'm excited to kind of watch this one, to be honest with you. No lean either way in this game. If you had to bet it, I would take Indy because maybe I think they're due for a bounce back game, but no bet here for Mr. Sharp. Stay away game.
Tito, do you buy Liam Cohen as a leader of men?
Well, no, I don't buy that nonsense and that Duval nonsense. Hell no. But if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, the panic meter is up because this team is falling apart quickly. Michael Pittman got, I think, maybe one target last week on Tito's fantasy team. I still outscored everybody in our fantasy league. I'll tell you that right now. So Tito's fantasy team is kicking on all cylinders. But I'll tell you right now, if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, you need this W on Sunday. You need to beat Jacksonville, take care of business. You got Houston coming up right behind you as well. So looks like a really, really tight division race to end the season. So I'm staying away from this game, though. Like Mr. Sharp, I want to enjoy it. I want to see the outcome of it. Like I said, I got a couple Indianapolis Colts on my fantasy team, and so need a big W this week. And so hopefully that'll come to fruition, and they'll take care of business. But I'm staying away from this matchup.
Yeah, I think it is a tough one, and that's why I looked at the player prop market in this one. It's a little off the radar. I'm going Brenton Strange, tight end for the Jags, over 42.5 receiving yards. All right, Tito, I'll make my case, see if I convince you. He's been a big part of the offense since he came back from injury a couple weeks ago. He's gone over this number in both games. He's had 8 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown over the last 2 weeks. And Tito, talking about fantasy football, he's facing a Colts defense that's given up the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends in PPR formats. So Brenton Strange is kind of a sneaker play, over 42.5 receiving yards, minus 109 on DraftKings. What do you think?
Yeah, that's
last thing on the Colts. The last 2 games they lost been, by 3 points and 4 points. So the bridge isn't falling down. Everything's okay. They get a win here, they're fine. This team has been battle tested, right? They are battle tested every game they're in, every game. So they're not getting blown out. I'm still not worried about them making the playoffs. I think they're a playoff team. But this is just a stay away game. See, 2 teams right here. The number's super tight. Vegas thinks it's a tight game. So just have fun and watch this one. I do like your little angle there, Eric.
Yeah, I agree with your angle as well, Eric. I think that's a smart play. It's a sharp play. I kind of poo-pooed that Strange fella because I think I drafted that guy, and that guy got me like negative points one week. So big woof to that guy. That's why I'm poo-pooing that. But the fact that came back from injury and now he's kind of cashed at a few different little plays there, that's good. But I disagree with Mr. Sharp because you lose those tight games with a young manager like this, and buttholes get really, really tight. And guess what? 1 game turns into 2 games, turns into 4 games, and all of a sudden you're playing in the opening weekend in the wild card round, and then you get upset, and then your season's over with. They had the clear division lead. They had an outside chance at getting home field advantage a couple weeks ago. That's all gone now. they're fighting for their life with this division now. So buttholes are really perking up there in Indianapolis. I'll tell you that right now.
Shawn, it's kind of putting you on the spot here. Who's the best team in the AFC? If you had just not even taking the odds into account, if you had to pick one team in the AFC right now to make the Super Bowl, who would you pick?
Hey, we're going to go with New England. It's hard to say that, but they look like the best team in the AFC right now. We'll see how Drake May plays in the playoffs as his first time when, the game's on the line. Is his butthole going to get super tight? Yes, it is. I don't like rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs. I could see them winning the first round and then getting bounced in the second round.
Tito, who'd you take in the AFC?
I'm taking the Houston fucking Texans. That's who Tito's sneaker play was at the beginning of the season. I think this team's going to make them. They're getting hot at the right time. D'Amico Ryan's got this defense playing outstanding. They got a young quarterback that could make plays on his feet. I like Houston a lot. That
defense is nasty. We'll talk about them here coming up shortly. My pick would be preseason pick. I'd still stick with the Bills. This is giving me vibes of the 2006 Cardinals, the 83 win Cardinals, the team that they've had all these great teams, the one you don't expect to win it all. And now they have this where Kansas City is probably going to miss the playoffs. I mean, the tiebreakers, the Chiefs are in big trouble in making the playoffs. They don't have any of the tiebreakers. And if the Bills sneak in, not just sneak in, they hold the last spot. They hold the 7 seed right now. No one's going to want to face them in the playoffs. Shawn, it looks like you disagree with that.
Their offensive line is really banged up, and I think a good defense like Houston exposed them. Josh Allen had to run around for his life. I kind of hope Houston doesn't win the division and they are a wild card team because I think we can get a good number on them and cash some money in the playoffs.
Smart play there. I like that.
Yeah, the Godson says the Chiefs are in huge trouble. It's so true. With them losing that game, and it sounds dumb, but they lost that dumb Monday night game to the Jaguars where Trevor Lawrence fell down twice and somehow got in the end zone. That could come back to bite them big time, trying to come back and catch them. It was big that they beat Indy. That was critical, but they lost to the Bills. They've lost to the Chargers the first game down in Brazil. I don't know. Chiefs are in big trouble. They might have to win out. 11-6, that'd probably get them in. 10-7 with the tiebreakers, that ain't getting them in because they're 6-6 right now. The Godson says, please, Bills, Lions, Super Bowl. Yeah, that is the dream. That is what you want.
The Lions are not making the Super Bowl, buddy.
They don't look right. And Tim Yes says Red Kingdom.
I love you, Timmy. That's right, baby. Don't call it by the real name. That's a big fraud of a franchise over there on the other side of the state. What a big whoop. I got a couple of those Kansas City Chiefs on my fantasy team, which Tito loves. But my goodness, I love seeing them collapse, crying about the officiating. We're not getting any flags. Big old whoop, Andy Reid.
Oh, man, I'm going to get this moving. I'll start on the next one. Seattle at Atlanta. Strong lean on the Falcons, +7. I wanted to get your guys' take. I think Seahawks fans should be getting worried about Sam Darnold. He has not looked good the last 3 weeks now. He had that game 3 weeks ago against the Rams where he was seeing ghosts and he threw 4 picks. And then I feel like the Seahawks, they were able to kind of hide him the last couple weeks where they didn't really need him to do much against the Titans and the Vikings to get the win, especially against the Vikings and a Brosmer kid or whatever the hell his name is. But this Sunday, he's going up against a Falcons defense that ranks 3rd in the NFL in sacks.
Yep.
I think they're going to be able to get after him and rattle this guy. Darnold might start seeing ghosts again. So I wouldn't like it at 6.5, but this key number is 7. It's staring me in the face. And the Falcons look really appealing to me. So, Mr. Sharp, I wanted to get your take on that for sure.
Totally agree. This also with the Colts game, this one fits in the narrative. A little zigzag game here. Seattle covered last week. I don't think they cover this week. So we're kind of zigzagging on the number. I do agree. And Atlanta's tough in the dome to play. Kirk Cousins showing he's still got a little bit left in the tank. So I do like the Falcons at the key number, and ton of bets are on Seattle this week.
Well, I like this. Tito, is this unanimous?
I love it. I get chills in my back when you say key number. Both of you fellas. My goodness, you guys sound like fucking total degenerates, but I love it. Yeah, I like your analysis. I like where your head's at. I think this is the game where it kind of is not stinky, but this is one where people are going to be like surprised to see the Seahawks not cover. So I like it.
The Gatson says Seahawks also in trouble.
It's another tough division. I mean, some of these
Yes.
divisions are super, super close. And I'm talking not like one or two teams, but like with three teams. My goodness. NFL and parity. My goodness, dude. Let's go.
Another shit game. I'm going to Tito. Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins a 2.5-point road favorite. Your Miami Dolphins, Tito, making a bit of a charge here. Total's 41.5. So what you got?
All of a sudden, the Miami Dolphins are kind of scrambling back into the playoff race. This Mike McDaniels fella and his pants that go up to his shins. I'm staying away. My goodness, I don't know what to say about either one of these. Aaron Glenn. I picked up the Jets for my fantasy team. My goodness, I think that we got a little bit of magic going on with that defense. Aaron Glenn's going to have these guys fired up, not playing for anything, but playing for some stats and playing for next season. So I like the New York Jets in this matchup.
Timmy Yass says Jets, Jets. Are you with him, Shawn?
I am not with Tim or Tito on this one. This is another zigzag game. Miami didn't cover last week. Or no, they ended up covering, didn't they? Or it was a push. I think it was a push on the 4 points. They got a 2-pointer. They ran it back at the end of the game. They pushed that. Depending on what number you got, they covered or they didn't cover. Well, the Jets do have something to play. Miami does have something to play for here. They're not eliminated from the playoffs, and I think they're going to stick to the running game. I like Achane here to get some rushing yards going. I like his player props this week, and I like Miami and the number actually here. This is a 1-unit play from Mr. Sharp. We're going to see what the final injury report looks like, but they got Waller back. He looks pretty good. Tua's just kind of handing the ball off. Miami's just kind of doing what they have to do against these bad teams. But it was at 2.5. Now it's at 3. So I don't love it at 3, but we'll still bet it at 3 for 1 unit.
2.5 on DraftKings. Miami, you got to lay minus 120 though. That's the only thing.
Getting ready to move.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I don't have a big take on that game, but if you're betting it, I'm tailing. Next game, Steelers at Ravens. Oh boy. These teams tied for the division lead. So Mr. Sharp, I'm going to let you go. The Ravens favored by 6, totals 42.5.
Yeah, the Steelers are falling apart. Aaron Rodgers is calling his receivers out for not, running the right routes, which if anyone saw that game, they know that he ran the wrong route. And he can't protect himself. He's beat up. He looks old now here in the season. Mike Tomlin's got to go. This thing's falling apart. But Baltimore doesn't look any better. Lamar Jackson doesn't look good, but I love Derrick Henry in this game. Harbaugh should run the ball a lot. We just watched James Cook eat against this Pittsburgh defense. They're not disciplined on the defensive line. They're not shooting their gaps. So I like Henry in this over rushing yards, maybe a touchdown play. I'm sure his number is pretty high. I haven't looked. But also, if I'm going to bet it, I'm in a division game here. I still think the Steelers can hang around. This is one of them kind of games, NFC or AFC North. I would take the Steelers, little 1-unit play plus 6.
Henry is minus 160 to score a touchdown on DraftKings. I had a similar handicap. These teams, they almost always play close games. But also both the offenses, you mentioned it, Lamar, the offenses for both teams look broken right now. Lamar has got to be injured because he looks nothing like the guy that we know he can be. He had another game last week, under 60% completion percentage, 4th straight game that's happened. He's averaging under 200 yards passing over the last 4 games with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions over that time. And he can't run the ball either. Last 4 games, 26 carries for just 84 yards. So I lean Steelers here at 6. I think that's too many with Lamar just not being Lamar. I think the under is an even better play. And you kind of made the case for it with both offenses being shit right now. The numbers drop, though. We're not getting the best of it, and that's what's probably keeping me off it. I don't know if it's I almost considered a same game teaser. You tease the Steelers up to plus 12, and you would get under 48.5. Is that getting too cute?
Yeah, I don't love the key number there at 12. If it was 14, I would like it a little better.
Yeah. But the under, I think, I want to say it opened at least 45.5. It might have been even more. Now it's sitting there at 42.5. But this has got 20-17 written all over it for me. What do you think, Tito?
key number again. This guy is saying it. It's making me wet all over. My goodness. I like the tie in this game. I think it's going to end in a fucking tie. And then it's going to keep the Bengals in the hunt for the damn division. That's where I like it. I think it's going to end in a tie. I'm seeing right now a tie plus 4,500 on DraftKings, folks. Want a little lottery ticket? Tito might sprinkle a $10 play on that for maybe get rich and maybe send his kids to Disney World for a week and a half and enjoy some peace and quiet here in the house. No, I'm that. If you want to do a lottery ticket, I like that. As a Bengal fan, as a son that loves that Joe Burrow swag, I'm rooting for a tie in this matchup.
Man, if that hits, we will play this clip for forever. B. Fishman says this is a classic Tomlin game. They will stop the run. Steelers will win. I've got an egg in my face.
Tomlin have a great speech and get this team fired up, right, Easy?
I'm pretty sure I've said Mike Tomlin rah-rah spot the last 2 weeks, and it has come back to bite me in the ass. I wouldn't, but yeah, here I am leaning Steelers. So yeah.
If they go ahead and open up the offense, the last few possessions of that last game against Buffalo, that was an Aaron Rodgers 2-minute offense. I've seen it my whole life, and he was moving the ball pretty well. So we'll see if they come out with a little bit of urgency. This dink and dunk can't always work. They're doubling Metcalf. We'll see if Adam Thielen can get in there and do anything in the slot. I just still think they can stay inside that number. B. Fishman knows his team, so maybe he's right. Maybe an upset pick. Maybe he takes Steelers money line.
Yeah, these Steelers play the Ravens again in Pittsburgh, Week 18. And B. Fishman says they're going to lose Week 18 to lose the division. Cash it. I think he's referring to the Steelers are going to lose Week 18 against the Ravens. I got to think, oh, God, I hope Lamar is back being Lamar by that point, just looking like himself.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's going to be the type of quarterback, when it's over, it's over. He's not going to hang around because once he loses his speed, his arm and his pocket presence isn't good enough to stay in the NFL a few more years.
Next game, Washington at Minnesota. Minnesota, a 2.5-point favorite. Totals 42.5. I hate to do it. Justin Jefferson under 62.5 receiving yards. He has gone under this number in 5 straight games because the Vikings quarterback play is absolutely god awful. He's only even gotten to 50 yards once in the last 5 games. I feel so bad for this guy. I feel bad for his fantasy owners, myself included. His body language is terrible. He can't even hide it. This Vikings team is toast. This number should be in the 50s. I will be betting this. Justin Jefferson under 62.5 receiving yards, minus 111 on DraftKings. Mr. Sharp, what say you?
Yeah, I shared that little stat with you about the quarterback play in Minnesota. If a quarterback has spiked the ball every time, they'd have a better QBR than the Minnesota Vikings this year. My God, J.J. McCarthy. But there's still hope for him, I think, in the long run. I like Washington here. Minnesota should not be favored at all. I'll take the points, and I'll take a Commanders team who's going to probably get their quarterback back. And they also showed some fight last week. Dan Quinn took over the defensive playing calls. Defense looks better. I like Washington here in the points.
I know you like a 2.5-point dog, and that's what you're getting there with Washington. All right, what do you got on this one, Tito?
Following Mr. Sharp, I love the outlook of Dan Quinn and that Commanders defense, and then get Jaden Daniels back. Absolutely. Kevin O'Connell is a complete fraud of a coach, and J.J. McCarthy's made Tito look like a damn fool from his earlier prediction. So I'm staying the hell away from the Vikings on this one.
Yeah, the Godson says, such a shame. Jefferson's unbelievably elite. Can't even blame him for looking sad as AF out there. I demand a trade. LL, or at least a new quarterback.
This is a Minnesota team, in the offseason, they spent more money in the free agent pool than any other team, and they bet on JJ to be that guy. And boy, I bet they're wishing Aaron Rodgers was in the building right now, not JJ McCarthy.
No doubt about it. B. Fishman says the Bengals may be in play Week 18. It happens every year. It'll come down to Week 18. That's our next game. Tito, I'm going to let you get started with your Bengals playing at my Bills. Bills 5.5-point favorite. I see that number. I know Mr. Sharp likes a 5.5-point dog. High total 53.5. Burrow against Josh Allen. Tito, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going with Joe Burrow in this matchup. I think they get it done. I think they're getting the points, so I'm going to take the points and take Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to score a touchdown. Probably have an anytime touchdown for Jamar Chase this week. So like both those plays. So that's where I'm going with this matchup. Buffalo is not sold me. They've kind of middling around. I know they're kind of top two in the division, but still, what a big old wolf. So give me Jamar Chase and Cincinnati in this matchup.
It's a good example, Tito. If you want to bet Jamar Chase to score a touchdown, it's minus 140. But if you use that little DraftKings boost, you can get yourself up to around plus 105 in that range for him to score. I think that'd be a great look to use one of your boosts on Sunday.
Okay.
I totally agree. But I don't know about the number here, Tito. We'll see. I think the over is the play here. I think you got two quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen will eat against this bad defense. And Joey B, he's feeling it. And I do agree with B. Fishman. He's going to make a run for this team. So I like the over here myself. I would stay away from the number. If I'm going to bet it, I would only take Cincinnati in the number. But I like the over. I think both of these teams, backs against the wall, must-win games for both teams. I think they get creative. I think there's a lot of points scored in this game. So I would bet the over. That'd be a one-unit play.
Now, my best bet is from this game, so I'm going to save it for the end of the show. B. Fishman says the Vikings fallout needs to be studied. I think it's as simple as a quarterback. They have if they have a good quarterback, this team is not going to be as good as they were last year, but they're probably 500, maybe a little bit above, and they're right in the mix in this division.
Yeah, I kind of knew the NFC North was going to be a little weaker this year. Just after the historic year last year, there was nowhere but to go down. That was it.
We're living in an alternate reality right now where your number one seed in the NFC is it still the Chicago Bears? It is the Chicago Bears, number one seed in the NFC. Absolute wild times. Broncos at Raiders. Broncos 7.5-point favorite. Your total is 40.5. Good dart throw here on a player prop. I'm going to buy low on Troy Franklin. Anytime touchdown scorer, plus 225. I cashed a bet on him earlier this year to score against Dallas. I think we see a bounce back effort from Franklin here. Last week at Washington, only 3 targets, 2 catches for 21 yards. But the 5 games before that, he had at least 8 targets in each game, and he scored 4 touchdowns. He also leads the Broncos in red zone targets with 14. That's 4 more than Cortland Sutton. And you will see this with Sean Payton sometimes. You get a player that just is not a big part of a game plan one week, and then he's a big focal point the next game. I think the Raiders are just cooked. I think the Broncos, their offense can pad some stats here, make their numbers look a little bit better because I still don't buy this team long-term making a Super Bowl run. Troy Franklin, anytime touchdown score, plus 225 on DraftKings. I want to sprinkle that on Sunday. Tito, what do you got on this one?
Not afraid of the number whatsoever here. Give me Denver against a really bad Vegas team. So give me. I'm taking. I'm laying the points, laying the 7.5, and taking Denver in this matchup.
Mr. Sharp.
I think Denver's a good team to throw in a teaser this week. I think they get it done. Not sure about the number. Division game. I would stay away from that number. I would maybe throw the Broncos, the Rams, and then also probably Seattle or the Packers in on a teaser. I like a little 3-teamer this week with that. I think for sure that they get it done, the Broncos. But I do agree with you, Eric. I'm not sold on the offense long-term come playoff time.
I would stay away from Seattle in teasers. I think the Bucks might be a better option at minus 8.5. You can get them down under a field goal. I think they'd be a good way to go. You mentioned the Rams. That's our next game with the Rams at the Cardinals, divisional home dog. Rams a 7.5-point favorite. Total is 47.5. Shawn, are you going to take the divisional home dog here?
The Rams are going to be my survivor pick in this pool that I'm in that wins $20K. I'm still in it. There's 40 people left out of 1,000. I'm going with the Rams. I took Denver last week. That was pretty sweaty. I think they bounced back. Don't love the number here, but I love them in a teaser. Rams aren't going to lose this game. A lot of we have some Rams fans who were chirping at Mr. Sharp that the Packers lost to Carolina. Well, how's it taste, Rams fans? You just went down there and got it handed to you too, boy. That's because Carolina's a pretty decent team this year, and folks are sleeping on them. But the Rams win this thing. I kind of think Jacoby Brissett props are probably a good play here. He's going to be slinging the rock all around.
Yeah, I cashed that bet last week. I got back on him throwing 2 touchdowns, and he got done in the fourth quarter. That one felt good. Tito, what do you got here?
Yeah, everyone talking about the Rams being the best team in the NFC a couple of weeks ago, and Sean McVay tried to lighten the mood there and said, doesn't really matter this early in the season. Let's talk about it at the end of the season. And guess what? Mr. Sharp's right. Carolina goes down and takes care of business. So don't see the Rams losing this matchup against the Cardinals, but I'm going to follow Easy E and Jacoby Brissett and go with that anytime with that multiple touchdown player prop with that one. That's where I would lead with that one.
Yeah, the Godson said Rams money line for my parlays on Sunday. I think that is a great piece to include. They're minus 425 on the money line on DraftKings. You're going to have to put a couple more teams in there. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Shawn. Don't love the number 7.5. It's tough to bet the Rams on spread here, but the Rams, they're going to be locked in after they lose. And they've been great as a road favorite under McVay, even after losing last week in the spot. But under McVay, the Rams as a road favorite, 37-9 straight up, 28-18 against the spread.
Yeah.
So if this was 6.5, I'd bet the Rams. But yeah, again, I think it's a good parlay or teaser pick.
You know, long look here at the NFC West. Rams need to win this game because then they get Detroit, Seattle, and then the Niners have an easy schedule. So this division is not over. I do like a little sprinkle on the Niners to win the division.
I remember before the season or season preview, we talked about the Niners have the easiest schedule in the NFL. I think it's starting to bear fruit right now for them. All right, Mr. Sharp, Bears at Packers. Packers minus 6.5, totals 44.5. I keep thinking the Bears are going to turn into a pumpkin. It hasn't happened yet. So I don't want to touch this game personally because I keep losing money betting against the Bears, and I'm afraid what's going to happen if I bet on them. So I'm going to yield to Mr. Sharp. If you're watching this show, you're not aware, Shawn, as you can see on his little quarter zip there, lifelong Packer fan, and you're part owner of this ball club as a shareholder. So Mr. Sharp, where are you going for this game?
Yeah, it's Bears week. Fuck the Bears, baby. Fuck Chicago. Here we go. We still own you. You know, the Bears, they went into Philly and they had a big win, and they sure acted like they won the fucking Super Bowl. Everyone's ripping shirts off, going effing nuts. And one thing about the NFL is you got to have a little bit of humble pie. I think they got a little too high last week, and they thought they won the damn Super Bowl. I am effing fired up for this game. I love the Packers in a teaser this week. We are not fucking losing to the Bears at home. Micah Parsons is going to eat. This Bears team is a fraud. They caught a fucking Eagles team who couldn't score. Eagles were in that game till they got worn out. I love the Packers in a teaser this week with the Rams. That's my favorite bet of the week. I'm just going to go ahead and give it out because we're 138 into this thing. That's going to be my best bet. I love that teaser play. Jordan Love, Toyotathon Love is here. We saw it last week. I talked about it, Tito. And we're getting Jaden Reed back. And Golden's coming back. Our backup, Nate Hobbs, is coming back, our second cornerback. I think the Packers are the real deal. We are battle-tested. We lost to Cleveland, tough defense. We lost to Carolina. We know they're a little better team than they've shown. So I think the Packers are the real deal, and they take over the number one seed in the NFC. And I do think the Packers are going to hold on to that number one seed, and the Super Bowl is going to have to go through Green Bay, Daddy.
Yeah, Mr. Sharp is fired up for this one. I pulled up Jordan Love's profile in Yahoo Fantasy today, and I see in the top left-hand corner, it says Team Toyota Athlete, Jordan Love. I had no idea about this thing until you brought it up last week. All right, Tito, what do you got on this one?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what standings he's looking at. Even if the Green Bay Packers beat Chicago, they wouldn't be they wouldn't be the top dog in the NFC. So look at your voodoo math again, Daddy. And you want to keep on disrespecting the Chicago Bears, winners of 5 straight. You want to talk about how they're getting too amped up after every single win. Well, guess what? After what's happened over the last several decades with the Bears, I'm happy to see them excited. I'm happy to see a coach fired up, getting them fired up. Good, better, best, whatever the chant is, and watching them rip off that shirt. What an outstanding coach. This guy has it. They have a great running game. They've got good quarterback play. He doesn't turn the ball over as much as one would expect. So the only thing that's got me a little pessimistic is the Bears are 1-2 in the division. But I'll take the points, the 7 points. My goodness, in a tight matchup like this, give me the points. Give me the Bears. I like them to win it outright, but I want the Bears and the points in this matchup. I'm going head-to-head against this fraud of a Mr. Sharp in the NFL, Daddy. Let's go.
Well, so I know where I'm putting my money now.
You you have to act like you've been there before, and Ben Johnson really didn't. And I think they celebrated like they won the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to be a letdown game.
Tito, big game for
No
you.
way. A letdown game against your division rival with the division lead on the line. It will not be a letdown game. It will be anything but a letdown game.
Johnson says he loves himself some Ben Johnson, a shirtless Ben Johnson. Great team. Yeah, he like that. Tito, this is a big game for you on Sunday night with two of your pet teams, your Houston Texans and your Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Sharp.
84% of the money is on the Chicago Bears. They're not going into Green Bay and winning this game, I'm telling you.
Oh, man. I got to join Mr. Sharp on this one. All right, Tito, Texans and Chiefs. Chiefs, I think it's the third straight week. They're a 3.5-point favorite, if I'm not mistaken. And they're not covering. Total is 41.5. So, Tito, where are you going on Sunday Night Football? I'm sure this is going to be a very popular betting game as we end the very first week of legal sports gambling in Missouri.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna ride with D'Amico Ryan in this Texan defense, and I like the Texans in this matchup. Is this the number? Am I getting the best of the number, or whatever you guys call it? I don't 3.5.
It's a good number if you want Houston. I mean, that's getting over a field goal.
I think I like that. I'll take the number. I'll take 3.5 points, 3.5 points, and give me Houston in this matchup and kick Kansas City completely out of the playoffs, Daddy.
Mr. Sharp, do you agree with Tito?
I don't love the number, but I like Kansas City to win this game. I think this is another good matchup. They're very tough at home. The defense has been in every game, and it's do or die. It's Pat Mahomes time. It's do or die. I know Houston's been on a roll, but I think they're due for – this is a good matchup, I think, for the Chiefs. Both defenses can kind of slow everything down. We might look at the under. We'll see what the weather looks like. The Chiefs did lose their left tackle, though, so that's a big loss for Mahomes. And he's been under duress a lot this year. I just think Houston takes a step back this week, and we get a Kansas City Chiefs win. But I don't like it at the key number. I would agree with Tito. If I'm going to bet it, I would take 3.5. But I think the Chiefs sneak one out here.
It's got 3-point game written all over it to me, for sure. The under is the one that stood out to me. But again, not getting the best number. This has dropped a few points since earlier in the week. Houston defense just continues to dominate. Only two teams have scored more than 20 on them all season. They've shut down the Rams, the Bills, the Colts. They held them all to under 20. The under, it's been a cash cow. Houston games. Record's 9-3 for the under. Chiefs not far behind. The under's 8-4 in KC games this season. Again, hate getting the worst of the number. I want to see if it creeps back up another point or two.
My general thought this week with the NFL was last week we saw a lot of upsets. We saw a lot of dogs covering, a lot of dogs winning. I think we get a pretty chalky week this week. A lot of the favorites win and cover. There'll be a few upsets, but I think generally this is a week that's going to be pretty chalky.
Well, our last favorite of the week is on Monday Night Football with the Eagles favored by 3 at the Chargers. Total is 40.5. So it's tough to have an opinion on this one because we don't know if Justin Herbert's going to play with a hand injury. If he does start, and again, it's his non-throwing hand, so it's really not going to affect his throwing at all. I would lean Chargers if Herbert plays. The Eagles are like the suckiest good team in the NFL. I think they're totally going out in round one of the playoffs, no matter who they play. All those wild card teams look dangerous to me that are currently in there. And I think a lot of people just assume the Eagles are going to bounce back after a loss. Well, when Philly's coming off a loss under Nick Sirianni, or Nick Sriracha, as you like to call him, Tito, Eagles just 8-15 against the spread in the next game. So wait on Herbert, but if he starts, I lean Chargers. Shawn, what say you?
This is a big game for the Chargers, and I think Herbert's going to have to give it a go because they get Philly, then they get Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, and Denver. I mean, that's probably the toughest schedule left in the NFL, if I had to guess. Boy, this is tough to even handicap without Herbert. I don't believe in Trey Lance at all as a backup quarterback. So if you think Herbert's not going to play or you got any kind of inside info, jump on the Eagles now. You know, I'd like to know somebody who knows Herbert, get a little inside info. But, yeah, this is a tough game. I would just stay away from it personally. I'm not probably going to bet this one on Monday night unless DraftKings give me some kind of crazy boost. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd imagine they want to suck people back in on Monday Night Football as well. So I'm sure you'll get some enticing offers. All right, Tito, wrap us up. What do you got in this game?
if Mr. Sharp's not playing and I'm not playing, I'm staying the hell away from it as well. I don't like Trey Lance for when he was drafted by the Niners. I don't like him now that he's with the Chargers. And the Eagles are a bunch of frauds. And then Nick Sriracha can go poop in the Philadelphia or Pennsylvania River, whatever it is.
That's our NFL preview for Week 14. Go ahead.
I just checked Action Network. My UCLA minus a half point first half cashed. Let's go, baby.
Yes. Keep building that bankroll. All right, let's get to best bets. If you're still watching here at 11:16 at night, you got a best bet for this week, throw it in chat real quick. I'd be happy to talk about it. We already got Shawn's. If I'm not mistaken, it was the teaser on the Packers and the Rams. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to tease the Packers down to a half a point and the Rams down to minus 1.5. You get that at minus 135. It's a little juiced up, but I just think both of these teams are the superior teams this week in the matchup.
All right, Tito, you had a winner last week, baby. Duke and Arkansas going under the total. I texted you. I did tell you on that play. I think it was sharp. The Duke defense is nasty. That is a club that you root for. You have ever since you've been a kid. You're not some bandwagon Duke fan. A lot of good memories with your dad watching the Dukies. So I gotta get. We already got Shawn's, but I was gonna give you the honors, Tito. So go before me. What do you got for your best bet?
You know, Tito's a big old college basketball nut, so I'm gonna go back to college basketball. It's not a conference matchup, but it's got a conference that's near and dear to Tito's heart, and that's the Atlantic 10, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about the Davidson Wildcats. Okay, they're going up against the Citadel. And this Citadel team is an absolute dumpster fire. They're 0-6, I think, against the spread over their last 6 games. So what a big wolf. I think Davidson's laying 20.5 points. I'm going to take Davidson and laying the 20.5 with minus 108. I think they're in DraftKings. So that's where I'm going with my best bet. Davidson laying the 20.5 and taking care of the Citadel. What a big wolf.
Tito fading the Citadel. You've never had any good feelings for the Citadel.
Pretty good.
You're not worried about that big number, huh?
Absolutely not. That one, they can't cover. They couldn't cover 50, Fish. Okay, they can't cover 20.5.
All right, my best bet. I'm just refreshing the odds here real quick. I'm going to a player prop on the Bills and the Bengals game, as I mentioned earlier on the show. It's still there, yes. Joe Burrow over 35.5 pass attempts against the Bills. He's going to be slinging this thing around. He threw it 46 times last week in his return from injury last week. And I look back, even when Flacco was starting, the Bengals just kept on throwing. Flacco went over this number in 5 of his 6 starts. The Bengals defense is horrific. The Bills are going to score a ton, and so Burrow's going to have to throw to keep up. He's gone over this number both times he's faced the Bills in his career as well. So my best bet, Joe Burrow over 35.5 pass attempts. It is priced at minus 114 on DraftKings. Any final thoughts before we wrap up the show? Yeah, Mr. Sharp.
I love that play, Eric. I'm probably going to follow you on that as well. And I also do have a large bet on Dallas Cowboys +3, but my best bet would be that teaser. Did we get anybody in the chat?
The Godson on the game tomorrow, over 54.5 for his best bet. Lions and Cowboys think the points are going to go nuts. If you are in Missouri better, this is the perfect game. Like we talked about like an hour and a half ago, or whatever it was. Get creative, have some fun, have some lottery tickets, and just let's root for some fireworks tomorrow.
Yeah, you could tease that over under down and then tease up the Cowboys to 10 or 9.5. That'd be a pretty good play too.
Man, yeah, let's have some fun tomorrow night. All right, guys, I'm feeling the fun, feeling the energy. So come back, see us next Wednesday night. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel, and support those advertisers. Get signed up with DraftKings. Use that promo code STL Sports to score $300 in bonus bets. And remember, when you get the renewal notice from your insurance agent this year, just take 2 minutes. Go to carltoninsurance.net. Fill out this super easy form. It's on there. Get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm. For real, guys, very good chance he could save you a ton of money in 2026. So go to carltoninsurance.net, or you can call 314-961-4800. For Shawn, for Tito, I am Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys. We will see you next Wednesday.
Let's cash.